welcome back to another episode of Boys Gone Wild. It's just the boys today going wild in a duo as opposed to having a guest, which is why I'm dressed in my pure sort of tracksuit, my velour.
When you were wearing that last time?
Not last time, no.
You wore it for one of the guests.
Yeah, I wore it. No, not for one of the guests. I did not wear it for a guest.
No.
I wore it for the last solo one we did before our string of 3 guests.
I wore it suit for the last one.
Yeah.
I might do that every time we have a guest.
Did you like it? Yeah, there's something quite nice about one of us dressing up.
Yeah,
I think.
I could just do that every time.
You could bring the class to the occasion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it really feels like I've just come from work.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I kind of have.
You definitely have. Not kind of.
Well, it's not really, is it?
Well, it's not really a job.
Yeah, well.
Because it's a passion. You don't see it as well.
I don't do it for the money, as we know.
If you do your dream, you won't work all day in your life.
I haven't worked a single minute in my life. Because I'm out here to stop and seize financial crimes.
That's what you're doing.
That's all I'm here to do.
Yeah.
This is a bit of a weird segue into attempting. Like, I don't really know why, if that's my only passion, why I do this podcast. This is more of a job that
this
I
would
don't
be
get
much
paid
more of a
for.
job, yeah.
It's
well,
like
you could
a
do it as a favour
thing.
to me.
My day job is my passion.
Yeah.
And the thing I do voluntarily on the side.
Yeah.
I have.
Or maybe you're super insecure and you're worried I might say something bad about you every single time. So you'll sit through hours to make sure you can at least, because your big fear is someone will chat shit and you won't be able to retort.
Yes.
So
I have to try and get involved as many podcasts as possible.
Because so for my one,
just in case, just in case someone slights me in some sort of way.
Even if you're not invited, you're waiting outside the room. You're ready to burst in.
Even if I can intently listen, so I have the opportunity.
Yeah, because most of the time, there's very few times no one's talking about you on any podcast, so you've never had to break in.
Well, we can't be sure of that.
Well, you can because
everyone
you've ran into who you then found out. You find out if they have a podcast.
Yes.
This is what happens when Andrew meets a new person. Hello, what's your name? Full name. Yeah. Cool. And then you find it, you log it, and then you think, right, I need to write it, just in case they bring up. Because we bring up
go by
encounters.
Pseudonyms as well, which can be quite difficult.
Doesn't matter for you though.
But I have my ways because I can use some of the tools I've learned in my financial crime
His dad
training.
works for the CIA.
Yes. He actually.
Oh shit! I shouldn't have said that.
Oh no! Whoops. The secret's out. I've compromised him.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, he doesn't. Neither of our dads work for the CIA.
We have to be clear that neither of our dads,
honestly, genuinely,
or any affiliated organisations.
Yeah, but seriously, they don't. None of them work for the
CIA.
But
honestly, they don't.
Genuinely.
No, but they don't.
We don't work for the FBI either.
Nor do we have any affiliations with the FBI. We can't be clear enough about that.
We're just not at all.
It's not because we're trying to hide something. It's because we just care about the truth.
I didn't even apply to the FBI.
Neither did I.
Yeah.
At any point.
No.
Not once.
It's in America. So
it's in America. So how would we be in the FBI other than being like a sleeper cell? Which we're not sleeper cells.
Due to a pact with NATO.
Yes. That weird clause in NATO.
The Anglo-Atlantic.
NATO clause.
That's the only thing I can think of off the top of my head why we'd be working for the FBI.
Also, and it was just off the top of your head.
Also, FBI's domestic espionage or whatever backup.
Yeah, it is.
CIA is international, so it would make even less sense for us to be working
in the FBI because we have no affiliation with America,
unless of course we're dealing specifically with American embassy.
Maybe perhaps there was an English kind of maybe there was an English native who did something in America, and we worked with them on that. But I can't think of any strong enough. We don't do that on any basis whatsoever. It's that we're very passionate in our lack of involvement with the FBI or CIA.
If I wrote, I know I don't want to have another 30-minute conversation about James Bond, but if I wrote James Bond, I would have him saying,
which in some ways you did.
I would. In some ways, I like to think they know that as well.
Yeah. I think we all sit down in the cinema ready to dive into some Bond.
I don't need the credit.
You can see the slight touch of Horatio in there.
I would write in the line, "I'm not a spy," a lot more. I would have James Bond bringing up.
Yeah,
because I think people get into
hiding
suspicious.
In plain sight.
More
is it like a
people
spy
assume
tactic?
He's a spy until he says he's not.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
The people he's trying to spy on.
Yeah. I'm just saying that he's missing a trick when he's pretending not to be a spy.
Yeah.
By actively
saying it. By overtly bringing up.
And if that's a bit on the nose, throw in some other things.
Because everyone is very confident that we're not FBI agents right now.
we've laid that out.
And how else can he be a better spy / FBI agent?
And if you want to take a bit of the edge off, list a couple of other things you're not. I'm not a farmer.
Well,
I'm not an accountant. I'm not a spy.
Well, that would make me feel like one of them was true.
1 in 3 though.
But then you've got a 1 in 3 chance of them not thinking you're a spy. The numbers add up and the probability makes sense. And that's what a lot of spy work, I presume,
and accounting.
And accounting.
It's unclear which one he does.
It's unclear. And that's why the last movie was such a disappointment. It's unclear, is he a spy or an accountant?
Yeah, that's why I left with many more questions than answers.
Yeah, good plot, but what exactly does he do? Is it spying or accountancy? But that's for the next Bond film to tackle. Yep, all good?
Yeah, sorry.
All good. Well,
go on.
Should we dive into the controversy surrounding us online?
Yeah.
Should we address it immediately?
Yeah.
So that
the salacious nudes you've been posting regularly underneath a pseudonym it's now been leaked.
Andrew's cockpits.
You've been under Dragon 478.
Yeah.
Everyone, you thought
it was under Andrew's cockpits, which is why it wasn't very undercover.
And
the news was definitely salacious.
I'm not a spy.
Yeah.
These are not Andrew Cohen's cockpits. You used that technique, and it didn't work as well then. When you're like, these are not Andrew Cohen.
I didn't just post a picture of a cockpit and then say with the caption, "I'm not a spy. I'm not a farmer. I'm not a milkman." Because then it's like which one's true? And
you're no longer thinking about the cockpits. You're trying to work out
what the fuck. What is he? Which one is he?
No, we want to talk today about, obviously we've had a couple of videos that have gone viral, which is good, but then as that happens, I guess the aim whenever you post, we ever make stuff, it is to go viral. I guess surely that's the aim.
Yeah. Well, unless the right people see it and like it and they give us a sketch show.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing when you're posting it. It always feels like there's such a clear, when you're making it, it's such a clear reason why you're doing it.
Yeah.
And then when you achieve it, it's still like, because of the way the internet works, you can never complete.
You can't complete it, sure.
You can't.
No, you're right.
You can't just get it, you know.
Well, yeah. As we.
It's always like, well.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, I guess.
More.
Well, because fundamentally, it's producing it for. It almost feels like you're producing it for fun, in a way, because until you start getting some dollar from it, which isn't just about the dollar, it's also becoming professional in that way. But no, well, I think we've also discussed the point about it's great once you hit 1 million.
Yeah.
Then it's got to be 10.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's nothing.
2 million, 3 million, 4 million. It really just doesn't.
I don't
move
feel
me at all
anymore.
And also, we had our first million at Christmas.
We weren't even together.
No, and that one felt all right, but the second first million was like, yeah, because you knew it was going to hit it.
Which seems ungrateful.
It does feel ungrateful. But already, I feel myself becoming quite princely.
Yeah, but
with get big views don't really mean.
But it's more about the emptiness of perceived success.
Yeah, no. It definitely. I can definitely. It feels like you're trying to find the end of a tape.
Yeah,
thing of tape, and you just can't find it.
It's lacking. Yeah.
But I guess that's just more existential, and our audience don't have the sort of IQ to deal with that. So, dealing with the big controversy, of course, is the fuckery that is Lad Bible
and Lad Bible Australia,
and I'm sure another regional distinction of Lad Bible will fuck us over
Australia
again.
Australia is a region, but we could.
Basically, Lad Bible, if you don't know, asked me about a week ago, can we make a collection of your sketches, sign it off on them so we can.
Yeah.
And I checked, it says we keep all the rights and stuff, and I was like, fuck it, what's the worst that could happen? Oh boy, did we find out.
Little did we know. Also, you didn't mention to me that you'd had this discussion, so
no.
I was just scrolling on Facebook one day, doing my usual Lad Bible rounds, as I do every morning, and then somebody saw my face.
Yeah, and
I thought they nicked it at one point.
They put a collaboration of 4 of our sketches together, but the first 2
the
were
TV
slowed ones. Down.
And I mean slowed down.
I mean slowed down, so our voices were pitched down. The pace was
Mine
off.
doesn't have that many octaves to go below anyway.
It's true. So. Incredible. So really, it felt like we were doing it all in slow motion.
Yeah. I can't even think of any of the lines right now.
Benefits.
What's it? What's the first line?
Yeah.
This. You might think the scum of society live here.
It's fucking awful.
But they are. We got some I can't believe how we got any likes or any nice.
I don't know yet at all
because it was dog shit slowed down.
And then, which I think is maybe worse. They then did the next one with their own music,
yeah,
which was a sort of happy-go-lucky comedy tune.
Yeah.
Did it like royalty-free.
Yeah.
Which obviously is a fuckery anyway.
Absolutely.
And the fact that they didn't put it on the beginning bit and they put it on the second bit means that it's not just like a comedy music they put over their comedy. They've seen that and gone...
I think it's missing something.
I think it's missing a little... I just don't think it's going to...
It's missing like a royalty-free
sort
tune.
Of shit. What's the shittest...
You know that music that sounds like it's exclusively played on a triangle?
Guys, can we get around? Can we get the shittest music you can possibly find?
Just exclusively played on the triangle.
Yeah, just the worst possible music, which is sort of like...
It sounds like it's music, because it sounds like it has some sort of feeling behind it, but it isn't actually anything.
Just anything shit will do, actually.
Just a ding-dong, diddly-ding-dong.
Just anything.
Just make a zip-along.
That will really make the sketch pop. But then the real insult, which I think pissed me off the most, is that when we had there was a bit in the sketch
with music
where we'd put music in. Clearly, part of the joke was the music.
It's like removing part of the joke.
They took that out, actively cut that out, and kept in their own music.
Correct. Well,
I mean, that insult.
It would have been weirder if they kept it in and then just had two clashing soundtracks going over, though.
I don't know, man. It would have worked with the thing. Everyone walking along with the happy music.
Like the happy music together. They'd have to edit theirs out, and they seem...
No, but I'm saying...
Seem pretty
incompetent. It wouldn't have been weirder in a way, because it would have shown that it was a pure lack of laziness. Yes. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's the sort of clear handling of it. The fact that it wasn't made by a robot, it was a human.
Well, no, that's where I'm confused about. Now, I have some questions. I think you're more upset with the music. I'm more upset with the slowing down, because they didn't reply to our messages, did they?
No, they saw them both.
They saw them both.
And now, that's when when Dave Chappelle left the industry for 13 years.
Yeah.
I think we should do something big like that.
I'm ready to walk away over this. I'm not walking away from much, but I'll walk away.
Chappelle was quite a profound view on racism in the industry, and he left for 13 years.
Oh, that's poor editing. Tinkering with music and slowing down things. Now, but with the slowing down thing, it's like, I really want them to reply to it, because... Was it an accident or was it on purpose?
Yeah, it's more. I don't really care about it that much, to be honest. It's more the mystery.
Yeah, no, it's what the fuck,
and that's the thing. Yeah, it's
these
when people go out of their way to do something that you can't judge. That's what's going to keep me awake at night.
It's these people at Lad Bible who look. They've got many likes. They've got millions of likes, I'm sure, across all these platforms. This is what they do. They just peddle out different corners of the internet, show them to their followers. Yeah. There's laughs, there's sad, there's cries, there's all of these things. Yeah. How can that get by? If it was an accident, how can someone at Lad Bible not realise that this sketch is massively slowed down and therefore doesn't work?
They'd edited a time bar thing to show how long it was. So it's gone through a couple of things of editing. They put their own subtitles on it. It could have gone between 2 or 3 different people. And no one flagged up the fact that it was completely slowed down.
And it's so slowed down enough to not just be like, oh, these guys are some deep-voiced, slow-talking people. It's clearly this is not reality.
And I feel it's a bit... Look, I guess the average Lad Bible viewer might not be Noam Chomsky, you know.
I'm sure.
It might not be...
Or Jordan Peterson, let's count for both sides of the aisle.
the two biggest mega minds.
Yeah, no. It's not Zizek or Peterson. They might not be those guys.
It's not the animated mega mind, you know, the actor.
They're not mega minds.
The big blue head.
The big blue man. They're not all necessarily him.
But I feel it's, even for Lad Bible, that's a bit disrespectful, thinking... slowing it down so they can understand it better. So it's literally...
Do you think it's a case of...
We sounded like we were deaf.
Okay, yeah, no, I feel... Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It felt like we were patronising them as well. It felt like we were slowly... trying to explain the joke to them. It was so disrespectful to the viewers. And then we've been fairly lucky with a relative lack of hate comments in general thus far. And then on Lad Bible, we got the most hate we've got. Not hate, but like the most negative comments.
Absolutely justified.
Absolutely justified.
Why? I'd be commenting hate on that sketch.
I've never trolled anyone live. I think it's completely tragic. I'd never do it. If I saw that, I would start my trolling career.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, I would start my trolling career.
And I'd start it along the lines of our best one, which is Couple of Virgins.
Couple of Virgins, that was it.
Virgins.
Yeah.
Great, perfect one.
Funniest pish. I like that one.
Is that not a compliment?
No, it's
funniest piss, like
pish.
Scottish,
pish means shit, doesn't it?
Very complex, but
yeah. Well, no, our best comment's still when we got blamed for Grenfell.
Oh my god! This is why you Grenfell.
Yeah, this is why.
This is why you Grenfell.
On the Ryden or Time sketch, because it was
calling a vocalist or the vocals on a track silly, and that woman is a black woman.
Implies, and she said, "This is the problem with British people. This is why you Windrush. This is why you Grenfell.
This is why you Windrush." It's a really astonishing one, because, like, I mean, of course, there's collective racism in society, but you've got to, like, Grenfell and Windrush are pretty much the government's fault. Do you know what I mean? Obviously there's some amalgamation from racial hatred.
But I feel racism. This opinion is why this is why you Windrush.
This is why I Windrush. This is why I Grenfell.
This is why you Grenfell.
This is why I Grenfell.
It's this sort of attitude is why you Windrush and why you Grenfell.
And look, if we can't own up to our own mistakes,
we Windrush.
We as a two were collectively responsible for Windrush and the Windrush scandal and Grenfell. And if we can't own up to that, how are we going to?
I think it's about time we talk about the fact that we solved the climate.
We Windrushed and we Grenfelled. We Windrushed and Grenfelled, and we weren't aware we were Windrushing and Grenfelling at the time. But in hindsight, it was wrong to Windrush and Grenfell.
Windrush and Grenfell.
But more of these comments, because this is the stuff that gets me out of bed.
Yeah, exactly.
That's hate comments make me feel more alive than any views, I think.
But yeah, I think. What? Just take a stab at what you think Lad Bible were trying to do with the video. Just genuine.
I have no idea, and I think the only thing that you mentioned was about like trying to push it over a certain time threshold.
It must be about time threshold, so they can put ads in, because it was about 3 minutes 2 seconds the whole video.
Was it? There you go. It
must be a 3
There's your answer.
Yeah.
There's your answer. There must be a 3 minute thing.
And then the music thing could be copyright.
Ooh. What, that one thematic thing?
Yeah, but I got that royalty free, I'm pretty sure.
But you often see they put music over a lot of stuff, and I think it's because it was the third one. It's unlikely that the vast majority of Lad Bible viewers, any viewer, because when you put 3 sketches back to back, I wouldn't watch it at all. So it's like they're trying to keep people to stay on, and they think, oh, this bit's jolly.
But I like the fact that they read and didn't reply. There's just something nice about it, because it's not. They didn't not read. It's just something that they just see what I'm going to say. Oh. Yeah. He's got a complaint. Fuck him.
Oh no, he'll go. Well, yeah, it feels like our first tango in the industry.
Yeah, and I think we should leave
the industry because of it.
We should fall at the first hurdle.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go, and like because it's
release statement.
It's leaving with the least impact at the like lowest possible hurdle and the least issue.
Should we take this off Google Play in protest?
Yeah.
But you've also been watching the Winter Olympics obsessively, it seems.
Of course.
As you did with the Olympics.
Of course.
How does this Winter Olympics hold up to time when the Winter Olympics isn't on?
It's a great question.
Thank you.
I'd say it's it's holding up. It's holding up very well. It's holding up very well. It seems although earlier I might have said I don't work a day in my life. I don't Windrush. No, we've assessed that I have Windrushed.
Yeah, we've all Windrushed, mate.
No, just us two have Windrushed. It's our attitudes that led to Windrush. I said earlier that I don't work because I love my job and it's a passion.
Sure.
Obviously, that is not true.
Laced with hypnol and irony.
Yeah, exactly. So sport and daytime sport gets me through the day.
Yeah.
Having the Olympics on is great because it's 24/7 sport for the time that you're working.
Yeah.
Depending on the time zone, Beijing's worked out okay. It's worked out okay for me. But no, it's good. I've enjoyed it a lot. I'm not sure how it is in comparison to the last Winter Olympics because I can't remember watching that much of it because I had more things to do.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does.
Yes, but I have 2 key topics I would like to...
Yeah,
sorry, I have 2 key topics.
You wrote down Winter Olympics, and I was trying to set you up.
I get kind of lost.
You're acting like I completely hoodwinked you. Like I've just done a gotcha, and you said, I want to talk about the Winter Olympics, and I was trying to subtly, and then immediately looked at me like, well... I'm moving on from it. Now, I would like to bring up 2 key topics in the Winter Olympics. Much like an essay, I'd like to set out the points before, and then I'll kind of go back to them. Yeah.
The first one is, what should we talk about first? The first one is Hazel Irvine, or Irvin.
I'll put a picture up.
Hazel Irvine. Everyone will know her.
Yeah, you'll know when you see her.
You'll know when you see her.
Yeah.
Most people would know her purely by name, I think, nowadays. The second one is curling.
Okay.
We'll start with Hazel. Me and Horatio, mostly me, can be very cynical about TV presenters on this show. In fact, I've led a nationwide campaign to get rid of one of them on daytime.
Which seemed successful. We celebrated.
We're a bit confused as to what's happening.
By the way, Bradley Walsh still hasn't stepped down, even though we had a whole episode celebrating the success of our campaign.
It might have been like a move.
It might have been because it put us off the scent.
And now the campaign, I called off everyone.
So I think we're going to restart the Get Bradley Walsh Off the Chase campaign.
We might have to, yeah. Let me do some research this week, and we'll get back to the next episode.
Hazel Bruce,
Hazel Irvine. It's a great shout. Fiona Bruce, I think. Is Hazel Irvine. We can be quite harsh to TV presenters on this show, this podcast. We often don't herald the greats.
No.
And I believe Hazel Irvine is the greatest TV presenter
I think that's a great shout
that there has ever been. She is nothing but class.
Yeah, she's unbelievable.
I sit there and watch her all day. She doesn't slip up once. When she made a tiny mistake in the name. Just the way she's funny.
Yeah,
she's lovable,
but not too funny.
She's like friendly, but not too friendly.
Yeah.
She is just perfection on TV.
Yeah,
and I'm getting goosebumps.
Yeah.
I'm getting goosebumps again.
Hazel Irvine appreciation for sure. Yeah. There's, to be honest, I think of those sort of things, in my experience, certain type of female presenters often bring the most pain when it comes to sports. Not bring the pain sounds like it's a negative thing, but
bring the heat.
Bring the heat.
Yeah.
Gabby Logan.
Yeah, great.
She's great.
Excellent. Claire Balding is good.
Decent,
she's a bit more controversial. She's not your... Hazel Irvine is like perfection personified.
Yeah.
Claire's, a bit more rough around the edges.
She's a bit more rough around the edges because I think she brings a little bit more of herself to it.
Absolutely.
In a way. She doesn't float.
No, but I resent that because Hazel absolutely brings herself to it, but herself is just perfection.
Okay. So
she really is. It seems like there's moments when, oh my God, she's so good that she's almost too good. Is she a robot? But no, the reason why she's so good is the balance between professionalism and personality.
Do you think... Did you hear the kind of famous Bruce Lee quote, which is, "Be like water, my friend. When water goes into a cup, water becomes the cup. When water goes into a kettle, water becomes the kettle. Be like water, my friend." Okay,
sure.
That's that's more talking about flow, and probably he's talking about martial arts because he bloody loves
martial arts. I've seen.
But I think it can very much be applied to the art form of TV presenting. It is about being like water because every time you have to be very adaptive.
Yes.
You have to be, if you're speaking to a Russian curler, you have to be able to be like water and adapt to that.
And become one with the curler. Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So I think she flows like water.
You need to be an expert at curling, but also not know as much as the person you're interviewing.
Yeah, be like water.
God, it's a real art form. And most of the time we see, and TV presenting doesn't have much of a name in the arts.
Yeah.
Right. And that's often because they're mostly shit.
It's probably also because it's not an art, probably.
Well, no. I challenge you. I challenge you to turn on BBC Two at 9:15 a.m.
It's a craft.
I challenge you to turn on BBC Two at 9:15 a.m. and any morning during the Winter Olympics and tell me what that beautiful Scottish lady is doing is not art. I challenge you.
Fair enough.
It's art.
Yeah.
It's an art form to watch her present.
Yeah. She's great. Gabby Logan, I think...
Maybe move her to the chase.
Maybe. I would happily do that. I also think Gabby Logan has one thing over Gabby, she has the most... She's got the most tasteful attractiveness for a presenter, where it's sort of like...
Yeah.
Do you know, it's not like...
Yeah.
It's not kind of taking away from the thing.
Yeah.
It's not bringing something, but it's also pleasant.
Because there's always a bit of a kind of darker... a bit more disgusting question when, like, with the female football presenters,
or like the Sky Sports ones.
Yeah, they're all gorgeous, and like all the men are fucking old and bald.
Yeah, and when you got the ugly men versus
it doesn't shout for the most equal society.
But that's why the Gabby Logan, Gary Lineker both hit that.
Hazel's in there as well.
Hazel's
still a piece. She's still a piece.
Fiona Bruce is a piece.
Fiona Bruce is a piece.
But
Fiona
so
Bruce
tastefully,
is excellent as well.
Tastefully though,
excellent.
You know, it's tasteful. Someone else I want to shout out.
Just quick shout out to Fiona Bruce as well. She bangs it on Question Time.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan.
We're a huge fan of female TV presenters here at Boys Gone Wild. And one I was literally listening to.
The men seem to be the problem. Yeah,
no, genuinely, especially football presenters where. For people who play the game so long, they do seem to have very little insight.
Mark Pugach is doing the Six Nations on ITV.
Why is Pugach?
I shouted at the screen when I saw him come on. I was like, what the fuck are you doing here? What the fuck are you doing in the Six Nations? He was sitting next to Brian O'Driscoll, the greatest sportsman that's ever lived on this planet, and he has no right to sit there and talk rugby with him.
I'll put another picture of Pugach in. I know not everyone might know. He looks
a little bit like my dad.
He looks a lot like Bill
not
Cohen.
A lot.
He looks
Bill
like
Cohen's a lot more attractive than Mark Pugach. But they have the same eyes.
He could easily be his brother.
Absolutely.
He could easily be.
Yeah, many of Dad's brothers are mental looking, but yeah.
If you don't know who Pugach is, I understand a lot of you might not know the ins and outs. He actually presented a lot of the England football coverage, which I'm sure a lot of you saw. But anyway, look him up. If you've not heard his voice, he is the personification of shit presenting.
And his name's Pugach.
And his name's fucking, which is the funniest thing.
Pugach, Mark Pugach. Like a gate.
Pugach is like, when you're thinking of comedy names, ridiculous ones. Pugach, I didn't even...
You cross it off the list because it's too ridiculous. You're trying to think of a silly character. We'll call it Mark Pugach. No, that's a bit too much. The audience aren't going to buy it.
Because the funniest names are always really normal first name, mental second name.
Yeah, true.
That's how...
Yeah, no.
Or vice versa. Because it's something like, Nigel Cockbottom or like Willie...
Legimini Smith.
Willie... What?
Legimini Smith.
That's really Legimini Smith.
Legimini Smith.
That's a good...
Yeah, no, I'm saying that's the other way around.
Yeah, that's good. But Mark Pugach... Pugach?
It's vulgar.
You've got poo in your name.
That name shouldn't be allowed on past the watershed.
I would put an accent on it. Or like purposely...
An umlaut.
Yeah, I put an umlaut so it's like Pugach.
Just lie. Yeah, Mark Pugach.
Pugach?
Then he seems mysterious rather than a shit English bloke.
Gatch is like a weird mix between a hatch and a gate. So in my head, I'm getting...
We're confused.
Yeah.
Is it a hatch or a gate?
And it's a poo hatch.
And regardless of whether it's a hatch or a gate, it's made of poo.
Yeah. And you know how most names sort of like... So like my name Gould is a variation of gold that kind of mutated into Gould. I wonder if you trace back Pugach, what did that start? It probably was just like poo twat or something. Back in the, probably some sort of like...
Some sort of runt. Some man who was outcast from society.
I looked up, I think it's Polish actually. Because I was fascinated to see that.
I hate him.
I hate Pugach. But funny enough, before we were on this podcast, I had TalkSport on, and I want to shout out someone who I don't know if you have seen much of her, but I would say she rivals Hazel Irvine. She hasn't. Okay. She's not in the BBC sphere, and she hasn't done many of the legacy things. But for pure class and talent, But she has had to overcome more so because she is unbelievably attractive, like Sky Sports Italia. So like she looks like almost like an Italian news presenter level, just like a 10, like unreal.
Yeah, we got it. Yeah.
Laura Woods. You've seen Laura Woods?
Does she do... I think I know this.
She does TalkSport.
Yes, I do know
the way that woman, looking the way she does, manages to handle these old fucking men in there. Talk them out the park with insight, punditry, call them out on their shit. Never ever kind of complain or fall back. Never plays a victim in any way. Just goes head to head, keeps it cool. Teases them a little bit. Doesn't tie her hair up in pigtails and go like, never like retreats into it. He's an absolute master. I've never seen someone, and it's, someone who's that.
I know she is, I know she is. She's gorgeous,
Yeah, unreal. Okay.
No, I've got her. No,
I feel shout out Laura Woods as well. I'd say Laura Woods would be...
She might do. I haven't really seen much.
I don't know would she be my dream woman, but I might be too intimidated.
Let's really ruin this conversation about how great some female presenters are by saying, would we want to bang them or not? Is she my dream woman?
Would you sleep with Hazel?
Yeah. What do you mean? Why are you asking that question?
Yeah, but you can. I think if anyone, most women, when they see even any sort of man do something really impressive, it does add to an attraction thing.
Yeah, of course it does.
So of course the exact.
No. But I'm saying what? Of course
I'd sleep with all of them.
I'd sleep with all of them. Yeah.
Fiona Bruce.
Well, she's number one.
Number one, unbelievable.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Know all of them.
We were doing so well.
We were doing really well. I'm not just trying to think of different TV presenters that I want to sleep with. But just as the sport TV presenters.
Yeah. But yeah, they're all crushing the game, and I want more of them, and I want less Pugac,
less Pugac, more fucking Irvine. But it's a start. It also shows where the ITV is, because ITV bringing in Pugac.
Yeah.
Clearly, there's a structural problem occurring there, because the Six Nations
Do you think it's systemic?
I think it's systemic because Pugac is the result of years and years and years of wrong decisions.
Yeah.
Now Pugac he was on ITV for the Six Nations for, I think it was Ireland, Wales, and then the BBC had England. Who the fuck did England play? England, Scotland.
Yeah.
The BBC had Gabby Logan. The ITV had Pugac. Incomparable broadcasters, incomparable. Now we need the license fee. It needs to stay because we cannot have.
That's a great argument. To keep
Logan versus Pugac.
Logan versus Pugac is like Frost versus.
It is, but it's the fight for the license fee. Should we keep paying the license fee? Pugac
is going to get, because Pugac will get on the BBC if the license fee gets scrapped.
Because anyone can afford Pugac. Any network can afford Pugac. How has he fucking made it here? Sitting next to Brian O'Driscoll. Make me sick. It's disgraceful. The other thing in the Olympics is curling.
Yeah.
Do you know curling?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know the rules.
I'd like to make one quick comment.
Yeah.
And then I'd like to ask some questions.
Sure, please.
The quick comment is, I've noticed, so when you take turns, for those of you that don't know curling, you take turns to throw a stone from a certain part of a sheet, and there's like a circle, like a bullseye, almost like a dartboard, and it's the people who finish the closest, the stone closest, and however many stones
ice
that
balls.
are the closest. Yes.
Yeah.
Ice bowls.
Yeah.
Kind of. But but it's like, it doesn't really matter that much, actually, to go too deep into it. That's the essential basis. Are we happy with curling? Yeah, I feel like. You're happy with curling?
Well, it's obviously, when it burst onto the scene about 20 years ago on TV, it obviously was quite a shock because of the sweeping.
The sweeping. And
it is an absurd.
It's absurd.
Yeah, it doesn't look proper.
It is. Well, I remember Switch on for the first time, and it's.
I remember as a kid, I think 2008. No, because they don't know, it wasn't.
Oh, we all remember our first viewing of curling.
When I think that's a good. I think you do remember the first time you saw it.
I do. I don't remember the date.
What the fuck?
What is going on? What are they doing? Because it looks a bit like. At first glance, it can look a bit like it's in between events and they're just cleaning the ice.
So, that kind of that screen when there's nothing on, where they just show a wide shot of the event.
And it's just like
empty stadium with just like the sound. Program will resume in 10 minutes.
Yeah, it looks exactly like that. But so I'd just like to make a quick comment on curling. You could call it a joke, but it's a very tough joke to deliver unless you know the precise rules of curling.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to speak to people who know curling very well right now.
Okay.
You can switch back on in about 1 minute if you don't know curling at all. So there's the biggest bit. There's a massive bitch move in curling. When I don't think I've ever seen anything that's more of a bitch move in the entirety of life than when you're not the team throwing, right, and the other team throw down their stone, and then it hits one of your stones. No, it hits one of their stones, and you want it to go further out of the circle than it might be going, and you sweep that stone. You sweep it off the circle. You sweep not your stone to try and get it off when it's not even your front. And they're just like, fucking come on, get out of there. That is the biggest bitch move. And it's a very, it can be really important tactically. I would never do it.
Would you not do it?
I would never do it, because I couldn't be that bloke that's going, yeah, come on, get out. Oh, get out the circle. Fuck it now. I don't want this there. Jesus. Fucking grow up. Have some fucking sportsmanship and stop being a fucking bitch.
It's not even It's more than sportsmanship though. It's a higher thing. It's a biological thing, isn't it?
You look like such a neat.
It is giving them. It's a giving the ick sort of vibe.
Yeah,
I think it's
that's a good ick.
It's that
seeing a man curling someone else's stone out the circle, 100%. Just fucking sweep it. Go hard, get it out. We got your stone out.
Does everyone do it?
Everyone does.
Everyone does.
Everyone does it.
It's just part of curling.
Look, I want to like
diving in football. It's kind of like
yeah. And I mean, I want to really like curling. I want to back it.
But do you think this is so hard?
It's making it tough because like you don't see it loads. It's not going to happen every end. It will happen every match, definitely. Probably both teams every match. But I'm just starting to get into it, and I just see that happen. I just, fuck's sake, not again. Have some decency.
Yeah, it's unbecoming.
Have some pride. Just like, you're right. It's not a sportsmanship. It's just Ben.
Yeah, I completely agree. I also agree that the best bookmarks in the world.
You're interrupting my curling for bookmarks, which is important. I've got more to say about curling.
Okay, we'll come back to the curling.
No, let's do it. They're out now, so we can come back. Bookmarks.
If you like bookmarks,
and I certainly do,
then the right place to go get the bookmarks
would be the Bookmark Boys.
If you don't have any bookmarks,
which I cannot believe any of you don't have any by now,
but if you didn't happen to have a bookmark and you're in the market for a bookmark,
right,
and you're thinking I want to buy a bookmark because I have no bookmarks, the place I would recommend.
This guy studied economics as well, so you've got a good basis of the market.
Boys.
Yes,
they do bookmarks with celebrities and their quotes on them, and hand drawn. Well, not hand-drawn. Hand-drawn
initially and then reproduced. It would be mental if she had drawn every one of these, wouldn't it?
I wouldn't buy them. But good card. Good quality.
Great quality card. Some of the finest card. I don't often appreciate card.
No,
but the
famously.
card on the... Famously.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm a bit of a card philistine. Yeah. But on these bookmarks, I'm forced to appreciate card.
Yeah. So if anything's happened with our long-term partnership with Bookmark Boys, it has been Andrew finally forced to
appreciate card.
Yeah.
Or at least
his hang-ups about card.
Yeah. And it's been quite eye-opening, and I think there's many of you out there like me, card philistines, who don't necessarily speak up. And what these bookmarks can do for you is confront that in a nice way. You can do it privately, and you can still learn to appreciate card whilst also reading books and bookmarks. Curling. Right. Now, this is quite... would you like to say something?
No.
Or are you just preparing
yourself? I'm actually preparing myself like a viper.
Yeah, because I have a question. Now, the mixed doubles, this isn't... The team event is going to happen the day after tomorrow. As we all know, Wednesday is a rest day for the curling in the Winter Olympics.
It's like Sunday.
Or at least
like
this Wednesday, yeah. Oh. It's not every Wednesday.
Okay, so it's not like a thing.
That's not like a thing. But we all know that there's no... Like, I'm just saying because we're filming on Tuesday, and Wednesday would be... We all know there's no curling on the 9th of February.
Okay.
We all know it.
Yeah.
So, that's completely irrelevant to my point.
Great.
But we're going to press on anyway. My point being, there's a rule that doesn't add up to me. It's not making sense, okay? You have the hammer, which basically means that you throw the second stone, okay? Right?
Okay.
So, like, you take turns throwing the stone, you get the second stone. That's an advantage.
Okay.
Have you seen some curling, haven't you?
Yeah.
How do you think that how do you transfer it? How do you think it transfers? So like after each end, yeah.
Oh, when you switch the whole thing around.
No. Yeah, so you finish that end, you'll get a certain amount of points or whatever, and then you go to the next end. Who do you think has the hammer next?
The other team.
No, it doesn't just go like you switch automatically.
Yeah.
You don't get the advantage isn't evenly distributed.
Yeah.
What happens is the team that like didn't score gets the hammer. So they get the advantage.
So whoever did worse.
Yeah.
And what do you feel about that?
It's nonsense.
Really?
Like the UK couple went out because they were smashing them in the first half because they kept stealing it. But if you steal, you only win like 1 or 2 or 3. Yeah. And then they keep getting... Why shouldn't they have the right to then kind of go out in front and like have the advantage?
Do you not think it makes it more exciting? Does it not end up with giving the advantage to the
I think it makes it more exciting.
It stops the giant killing. It makes more giant killing.
But it's hella unfair.
What, on the better teams?
I don't... Well, the thing is, no one...
To me, it sounds like a great balancing effect.
No one who plays curling is saying the same as me.
Yeah, and you'd have to
if I'm brutally honest, I have never been on a curling sheet before in my life. But I've watched 6 hours of it in the last week. And it doesn't make sense to me. Because surely advantage, it's the problem. It's like breaking off in snooker.
Have you talking to Adam about this? Have you complained?
Yeah, he hasn't been listening to me, genuinely.
But you've been saying this?
Yeah, he hasn't, yeah.
Because there's always two different opinions of yours, which are fresh, which is when I'm the first person you're complaining
and refined
to. And then there's the second batch.
Yeah.
Because normally Adam's sitting there, who's our housemate who has no opinions, and you'll watch TV and you'll be shouting at the TV and at Adam, and he will not say anything or really give much of an opinion, and he'll just let you get that first one out. And as soon as you come up here, Adam was in the sitting room, and those are the ones which could go either way.
Yeah.
You know.
Maybe.
When there's just no... Yeah. But this is a refined one.
This is a refined one.
Yeah.
This is a refined one, yeah. But, well, no, because he didn't really agree with this one, actually. Well, he didn't really say much about it. I think fundamentally he was slightly disinterested. So then I thought, why not say it to hundreds of people? So they... Now, like in snooker or in tennis, the serve and the break-off, where you get an advantage or a disadvantage by either having it or not having it, they're essentially something to overcome. That's why you have 2 clear points in tennis, to try and disrupt the benefit of serving, because you want the game as even. In curling, they're embracing the advantage.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I don't know. I want to speak to someone... do you think you meet any curlers in the stand-up circuit?
You'd be surprised. You know, I think I could definitely. I don't think curlers get much time in the spotlight, so any opportunity to come on might be, in their favour.
Yeah.
But I do find funny with sports like curling, it feels like it's such a small sport. It feels like there must be a lot of rules that haven't been ironed out. Like football, it's such a big sport. The rules are kind of constantly under review, constantly controversial. But if there's 12 people playing in a sport, then
there might be some issues.
There might be some issues that fly under the radar. Do you know what I mean? It might not be the most constantly under review sport.
It seems mental to me,
yeah.
And I want to fit. Like, if anyone is out there has curled ever in their life, I'm willing to hear why it's good.
Yeah, great. If comment below if you think it's good. But on the topic of games, I do want to talk about a recent experience with a phone game. So I've been playing a lot more phone games as something to do on the tube, and because I have high IQ, I need constant puzzle games to keep the
because you have high IQ.
Because I got high IQ.
Yeah, okay. Was that a joke or were you being serious?
That was a joke.
It sounded like you being serious, mate. Even I was like, oh, do you? Okay. That really didn't.
I've never had an IQ test.
We should do that.
Yeah, well,
live on the pod. Live on the pod. That'd be great.
And then we could do the dick measuring contest
afterwards.
Yeah.
Be a tough day for you.
It would. Well, no, because we're going to share the.
We'll share
the measurements, and they can just.
We'll just find an average, and then that could be the boys go wild. We
don't do the average. We'll just put both of them together.
Yes.
And then they can just they choose the line themselves.
They attribute it. It really sounds like somebody's scared to do it.
If it's like 8 inches between us, it doesn't matter where they'll choose it.
One of us has a 1-inch stick, one of us has a 9-inch stick. That would be great. Just 8 inch what?
It would be
8 inches between us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but it's funny if one of us had a 1 inch and one of us had 9 inches.
It'd be 7 inches. You don't understand the concept fully. It'd be 7 inches, wouldn't it? It's not minus. We're not minus.
But if there's 8 inches between our 2 dick sizes, how can it not be 1 and 9?
It'd be 1 and 7.
Why?
Because it's 1 inch plus 7 inch equals 8 inches collectively.
But I think, what's happening? But we're not making the. If you say there's 8, if you say there's 8,
if we were doing a dick measuring contest,
hold on, can I restore?
You can.
If you say between 2 lengths of something, there's 8 inches between them, you'd say that's 8 inches difference.
No, it's not between them. It's like shared between them, not.
So you're talking the average. The average between us is.
I'm not saying the average.
What the fuck are you saying?
I'm saying, let's say your knob is half an inch and my knob is 12 inches. Okay?
Yeah.
That would make it 12.5 inches between us.
Oh, you're adding them together?
I'm adding them together, yeah.
Oh, okay, fine. Yeah. Cool.
And then we present the shared length.
The accumulated length.
Oh, well, we share the accumulated length
of the Boys Gone Wild IQ and dick.
Yeah, we add our IQ.
Yeah, we add our IQ. We can put it there. IQ. The Boys Gone Wild IQ is this.
I really like doing stuff like that. Well, we have lots of competitions, but we combining the score. So it's like you can vaguely see that there's where it could even figure out, but you it's up to you.
You'd have to if you halve it right down the middle, then you can maybe presume that we're similar. But let's say that's wildly off. Therefore, there's always there's one of us will either have a tiny penis.
Because if it came out with 12 inches, the potential variations from that 12-inch there's many.
Ginormous. And in a sense, you don't really know anything.
Yeah. You're scared if you then, one of you was lucky enough to see my penis and you saw a 1-inch penis, you would be then scared. Because if you knew the collective length of our dicks was 12 inches, and then you somehow managed to, at your urinal, you'd spotted me at the pub, you looked over and you saw that I had a little 1-inch penis, then you'd be like, oh my God, because then you'd realise that you clearly had 11-inch dong, and that would be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of variations. But I want to talk about this phone game I've been playing called Evany. It's one of those, because I keep getting adverts on TikTok for phone games, and they're always hilariously shitly done. They're like, do you see these?
Yeah, all the time.
It's like these, and it's always these things where you become a bigger guy, and
or loads of guys join you. I see that all the time.
I see the one all the time. But you have to do a quick maths thing. And then loads of guys, and they're all they've got elements of a really good game. And
it looks fun as shit.
No, I download all of them.
Do you?
I download all of them.
I'm fascinated by that.
They're always terrible because
ads, adverts,
ads between everyone.
Yeah,
and they're all so easy.
Yeah,
and I'm constantly trying to get to a point where it has any sort of
challenge. Because of your high IQ. You're desperate for a challenge.
And all these games, it's really weird because now I'm getting better where I don't just download them as soon as it looks fun.
Yeah.
But sometimes I have a weakness, and especially because I'm playing Golf Battle, which is my main game, meaning that I'm getting the same game advertised constantly. In weaker moments, I'm going to fall for it.
Yeah, because with with them popping up on adverts, I would never download them because I feel like then they've won.
Yes, no,
and it's even if I see a personalised ad for a really nice jacket that I really want, I can't get it.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm far weaker willed.
But it's stronger in a way because it's also you're getting what you want.
Yeah, well, I'm not.
Bullshit game with.
The games are they're always so funny because they're so clearly made with absolutely no care or love at all. It's literally trying to it's like an algorithm of how do we make something look addictive, cost no money to make, get people on briefly to have ads thrown at them,
and then get so fed up with the ads that you start paying for the paid version. It's a perfect model.
But they all have funny good a couple of good ideas in them that could be something great. But there's this one game that kept coming up called Evany: The King's Return. All right, and
that's a real you name as well.
And it has this quite annoying aesthetic of a fantasy king. He's in a ponytail with a leather sort of jerkin. Do you know what a jerkin is? Do you know what a leather jerkin is?
No, it sounds like you're saying gherkin. Right?
No, a jerkin. I think maybe I've got the wrong.
Gilet.
It's sort of like a leather-bound, hard gilet type thing.
Okay, yeah.
And it's a puzzle game where you lift up trapdoors, and then he starts running, and you've got to make sure that you drop the lava in the water at the same time, so the water cools the lava. You block a spike that's coming.
So he's moving independently.
He will just move, and you've got to make sure that you get everything. It's a good game. It's a good idea, and you need to get him to get to the treasure. It's my kind of game.
He's a treasure-hungry king.
He's a treasure-hungry. He seems like more of a sort of princely type figure.
Does he become a king, perhaps?
Well, this is what's mental about this game. It's got the game element to it, which is the puzzle thing, which I'm here for. And when I play it, it's actually decent. It doesn't have ads in it. It doesn't have bad ads at all. No, it's great. So it's actually a properly game that I could properly play.
Did you pay for it? Or?
Not at all. The downside is that the playing of the game ends up being about maybe 20% of your time on the game. It is absolutely mental. So it has this game, which is clearly the thing. You have to run a medieval city.
What?
Which is so complex. Yeah. And I obviously do not give a fuck about any of it. And it's not that well designed that it would be even interesting.
Yeah. You play Civilization.
I'm playing Civilization. And I just want to get to this game. But it's really funny because whenever I turn it on, it's got all these sort of like, the aesthetic is so over the top as well, when it's like you could clearly even have it with just blocks and like stick men, but they've gone so hardcore with like castles and lava and stuff. And I don't mind that. What I do mind is every time I go in,
when you're forced to buy wheat
if I to play one of those things, I can do 3 of them, and then I have to go back and I have to like look after my granary, I have to look after my people. I don't read any of it. I just try and click through because I'm really can't be arsed. But it's so funny because I'm having like riots, like my citizens are starving. There's like just civil unrest across the whole thing. Everything's gone to shit. I've got like a princess who keeps like saying, "Do you really want to do this?" And I'm like, I just keep tapping like a mental dictator
because you're really into the game.
I just want the puzzle.
As you would want as you would just want the puzzle, because these shit games, it's obviously just you don't. It's like. If you want to play a role-playing game, play a role-playing game. But the game is advertised as like that puzzle thing where you go like that. Like, because in order to get into a role-play game, you have to lose yourself in the role. So once you're like tending to your granary and distributing wheat to the farmers, and then suddenly you're then like manipulating lava and water. It doesn't add up as a game.
Add up at all. And it's so funny because I'm just like, and I'm just doing it. I'm building loads of stuff. The city planning is terrible.
Wait, so
I've got no latrines.
The latrines. Does your success in the puzzle part of the game in any way affect your kingdom?
I think you have to have a certain amount of gems or coins or whatever to to be able to buy within the game more puzzles to go on. Basically, you can leave the city and go on quests, and then those will keep going through the puzzles. But then every time I'm getting into it, I have to keep going back, and I just hope.
Is it more frustrating than ads?
I think it might be.
It sounds it. Because it sounds... Now, are you being hyperbolic with 20% game, 80% tending to your... Or is that fairly accurate?
Okay, it's probably 50-50.
50-50, but that's still obscene. That's still fucking mental. Is there any... Can you like buy... Because the way that they can get you without doing ads is you get really into like... They give you a certain amount of coins.
Yeah, you have to buy more coins and stuff. Yeah. Maybe. I really don't ever look.
Yeah.
I actively, my eyes glaze over and I just tap because I'm literally... I know if I tap enough, eventually...
You'll get to the puzzle.
Eventually I'll get it because I have this sort of like... I have like a sage like advisor who like suggests certain things. No, the princess she's more of a nagging bitch, to be honest. She complains a lot.
Yeah,
but I have I have like a core group of.
So it's lifelike the game.
So I've got like a princess who's completely complaining about all the shit going on, and then I've got my sage group of advisors who, to be honest, the only way that I can even keep this city at all afload is taking a couple of tips from them, because they'll be like a big pointing thing.
They've been running the city well before you've come around, well before you've downloaded this app.
And I've done a terrible job because it really isn't going well. But it's really funny that it's like they could have avoided all of this because they clearly don't need the ads thing. Well, I guess that's where they generate the money. I guess is that they get people addicted to that sort of thing. So I guess that's the must be the model.
But it doesn't sound like it's doing a good job of getting
not at all, because I do see the pull. Really boring.
Yeah,
like that side's really badly done.
I do see the pull of these games, I think I actually got the people one where they all add on at one point, because I was like, you know what, that does actually look quite fun.
Look great.
And I was having a particularly slow day at work, and I was like, let's give it a shot. And I was really like, we're just gonna go in there, no preconceptions.
There's like loads of
it looked great, but it's just the thing that's fun, because I'm back. And I don't know if I've actually told you this.
In a big way?
I'm
into Tetris?
Into Tetris. Yeah. I don't know if I've brought it up.
Oh, wow.
Or if we've spoken about it, but I'm
I've
back.
Seen it. I saw it over your shoulder and I was like, all right.
Yeah, we're back. We're here. We're here again. Yeah. It was like at the depths of my exam hell at university. It's now come back into my working life. I remember thinking at one point at uni, oh, it's nice, I'm never going to be this bored again. And but we're back. Nearly at 1 million. I'm gonna get the big Millie score, which is actually
that's a big deal.
It's like I can't tell you how embarrassingly good I am at Tetris.
Really?
I am so good at Tetris, like so good.
Could you ever enter e-games or any sort of? Would you ever go into some sort of?
If there's a Tetris one, I would. The thing is, the format's important because I try to go on different Tetris sites, and it's massively different.
Really?
So it would have to be www.freetetris.org, or
which I don't think the e-gamers would probably use.
No, I think there's more official ways to play it. But no, so that I like it. It's great because it's a similar kind of game to these little games, like puzzle type things. There is an advert every time you lose. The thing is, I can play for 15 minutes without losing. So the adverts are like 10 seconds. Like, I'm winning with that.
15 minutes to 10 seconds. That's
and to be honest, if
I'm drowning in medieval city admin while I'm
just down there going this. But but even if I've had a bad run and it's been like a 2-minute, then you know what, I need that 20-second ad break to cool off and come back stronger for the next run.
Yeah. You want to go straight back in.
I want to go straight back in. It's audacious. But the joy of that is you need. So I definitely have it in me to love the arcade style puzzle type games, and they're fun. I can get addicted to them.
You've got addicted personality.
100%. But I cannot do the phone ones with the apps because of the shit like this. Yeah. It's like there's not enough to get me addicted to it. No, it's true. Because I never get to play it.
They always get the catch. Yeah,
and they fuck up by trying to monetize it. Think about like Flappy Bird.
Yeah.
That's not a genius game. But they just let you fucking play it.
They let you play it.
They let you play the game.
And that's all I want is literally just
let me play.
Just something dumb as shit.
And I will.
That's repetitive.
Yeah. I will not pay £1.20 for the game when I first download it. I want to be able to experience it and think, can I get into this?
Can I get into it?
Once I get into it, heck yeah, I'll pay £1.20 to get these fucking ads off. But they're putting too many ads in. Exactly.
Yeah.
But they're putting too many ads in, so I'm not allowed to get addicted to the game. They don't let me get addicted.
Yeah. That's why Golf Battle is...
Are you still playing that?
Unbelievable. Yeah, of course. Yeah, dude, it doesn't. You would love it more than I do, maybe. I can't tell you how good it is.
I can't do it.
I'm telling you, unbelievable.
I think my addictive streak of games has gone, though. Do you know what I mean? Really? I can't play PlayStation games anymore. There's times I've sat in the evening thinking, I really wish to alleviate my boredom, I was as into FIFA as I was when I was in year 6. Or really
FIFA,
into
FIFA. I recently played FIFA when the internet was down. I played career mode.
Yeah, we spoke about this, I think.
Yeah, and it doesn't make you happy, and it's so clear. Like I remember when we were all obsessed with FIFA, and it's a very British lad thing. It's just like generic male Brits. We all play FIFA, but I do know that it doesn't make people happy, but it's addictive. It is kind of. Do you know what I mean?
I was pretty happy when I won the Champions League with
Southampton. Well, maybe on the career load thing, but certainly on Ultimate Team, the frustrations.
I've never done it.
The frustrations,
the connection thing's too annoying. I don't like losing. It's just,
but then you have to keep playing.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it's great for your mental health, FIFA.
It doesn't, no. But I've done. I'm always a career mode guy. I've done NFL.
Yeah, but if you're going to play any game, you'd have to play it in the living room, which feels much more exposed.
Oh no, I don't mind, but I prefer the space.
Okay.
You've got enough space up here to do it. It'll be very sad to do it in my room.
Yeah.
I can't fit anything in there anyway, so it's amongst the various.
Do you have any closing statements?
No.
Great.